Traders, how you guys doing? In this video, you're gonna see how I made $5,200 trading IWM. Now, granted, I didn't get my full goal of 20 cents per contract times $120. I got about 15 cents per contract times $115 per contract. But overall, a great day. I can't complain. Let's get into it, and I'll show you how I did it. Good morning, traders. Good morning. David with Alexander Trade and Investment Group. Hope everybody's doing well on this cold January 8th day, Wednesday hump day. We are about 4 minutes until cash open. Hopefully everyone is seeing my screen. Let me move some stuff out of the way so I can see. So we'll talk about it more, but the economic news, let's start with that. We had jobless come out at 8:30. Overall, to me, a good report. We came less than consensus or expected, with about 15,000 less jobless claims from the previous report. So that's a good thing. About 10,000 less. So that's a really good thing. The only negative in the report is that the weekly moving average is much less, about 20,000 less than previous. So it's showing us flat, even though we are above the zero, we are trending up from the last report. So that's a good thing. We're trending up. We're above the zero. We're flat as far as previous, but there's some good things in this report. So that could be the catalyst to drive the market up a little bit. Um, ADP wasn't as good. It's not much of a market mover, but it is something to pay attention to. We came in much less than consensus and prior for private payroll. We're still above zero. We're still trending, but we're both previous and current are starting to trend down just a hair from the last report. Not the best. Again, not much of a market mover, but it is something to pay attention to. This right here, the jobless claims, is definitely something that I think could potentially be a catalyst to drive the market up, if not all day, but for the most temporarily. Just looking at the charts, the last time we came into this area here, 221.38 down to 220.46, we had a nice little buy up, and that is in between the low of January 3rd and around the close or the end of the day of January 2nd. POC of January 2nd. We also at the weekly value low of last week. Weekly POC, we're in there now, which is also confluencing with the monthly POC of last week of last month, December. So we have some reasons to buy. We also are, what do we are? One standard deviation. Oh, two. I'm sorry. There's one right here. Two standard deviations by. I like the buy. I do like the buy. I think we may buy, if not temporarily, could potentially be all day. I think the market is supporting prices going higher. Um, from C period from yesterday, M period yesterday as well as M period of January 2nd. I'm seeing where new money has supported this area once, hopefully twice is what I'm looking for. 56 seconds into cash open. I am looking to buy, and I'm seeing signs of that. Maybe some selling absorption. 18,000 sellers here, 21,000 volume. That's a big number for pre-market. So I have 222 calls ready to go. I have 221s, which I may do 221s, especially if we fall down a little further. Prices are a little high, but that's going to change at cash. I also have 223 calls, but we're not there. So right now, 222 calls I'm looking to potentially get into. If we drop further before the buy up, hopefully, I may look at 221s. All right, with 7 seconds into cash open, starting to see some buyers, and we are opening now. Okay, that's a nice little drop. I still got the 222s, even though 221s may look good. 50 cent per contract. That's not bad. I like how we dropped down here with no volume. 47 cent so far. Spread is looking good. VIX is looking good. See, there's no volume here. I'm sorry, I didn't point out the POC of the second, and which matches the volume POC as well. That's another confluence. Yeah, I gotta look at this other screen. Okay. So again, there's positive delta here on this negative candle near that volume POC. Just gotta give it time to work out. Okay. Still seeing, as we falling, still seeing lack of volume. So I want to jump in, but not at the moment. I want to see us push up, maybe back into this area, back into uh volume POC of the second. Let me get my orders all the way together. Ooh, that's too much. I gotta one day I gotta get these orders right so I can have to adjust it. I gotta spend some time with it, but just a little mental note to get my order book exactly how I like it. I have it with my stops and my take profit, but I need to adjust it to from 50% of at the half to 75%. Getting close to when to get into. I'm starting to see some absorption potential. See, this is a buyer come in negative candle. It's a big buyer candle too, but just not seeing where I want to get into it yet. All right. Okay, I'm in now. 40 cent per contract. 50 is half. 60 is, I keep saying half. 50 is 75% of my position, where 60 would be the full thing. So let me write, I like to write my stuff down. So I am almost at half. Was almost like 3 cent away. And let me change this real quick, just in case I need to get in the second opportunity, but it looks like it's working out right now, at least for half. I want to adjust it just in case I want to see another opportunity to get in there. Maybe for a better risk reward. Okay. It's wanting that. It's wanting. See, buyers are trying to step into it. I think if we flip from red to green, let me make this a little bigger, then I think we are in good shape. We're just not there yet. Mm. So it is teasing me with half of a goal, like I'm 3 cent away from half. But I know if we flip from red to green, then that's gonna give me my at least half of my goal. And it's teasing me because I'm like 1 cent away from it. I need a little push up to give me at least half. Again, half is I know I made up. There we go. All right, let me move my stop. So I moved my stop up to 42 cent from my entry of 40 to at least protect the money that I made. So I made half goal today so far. Let's see if we can make full. Again, my entry was 40 cent. My half was 50. Ooh, okay. I think the way that dropped a second ago, I didn't know. But all right, so I at least protected that half and moved my stop to 42 to protect my half profit as well as capture commission fees. So right now, looking like that's all it's gonna give me. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I spoke too soon. 42 is now my out. It is now 44. And I think I'm gonna take everything at extreme low. Okay, here we go. Now we got a little push. I think I'm gonna flatten it out at if we get to extreme low, because that's another sign of resistance, unless that's gonna give me the full. All right, so I'm at 53. I'm gonna move my stop to capture more profit, lock in more. Because we're getting closer to that extreme high. I moved my stop now from 42 to 48. So no matter what, I not only got half, but I'm also locked in a little more. So right now it's at 54. 60 is my full. So if we get that extra 5 cent, not now it's back down. I think I'm gonna get knocked out at 48. I may have moved it a little early, but I at least got half a goal and we're almost at 48. I at least got half of a goal today and captured a little bit more than enough to pay for commissions. So overall, good day. I would love to get a full goal, but I think we're getting closer to that extreme. Again, once we get to that extreme, unless it hits 60 before that, I'm gonna take all profits. All right, so we are 50 back to 55. All right, I'm 5 cents away from everything. I might just flatten it now and just take 56, 57. I'm 3 cents away. I'm gonna flatten it. I'm gonna take it all here. Okay, I took it all there at 50. Let me go to my orders to make sure I'm out. Yeah, I took everything at 50 and it ended up taking me out at 55. So my entry 40, 75% of my position, I took off at 50, and then I got another 5 cent because I felt like even though we had this nice little push, we're getting to an extreme low, which is another sign of resistance. The buyers did come in like we thought. And that's a lot of buyers, 187,594 in volume and that little push right there. Now, I don't know if this is going to be, we're back negative for the day. So, again, as you guys seen in most of my videos, if not all of them, I don't look to have a position all day. I look to capture moments. And this moment right here was what I was interested in. I wanted to see this little tail right here. I wanted to see that come in. Again, we had the POC of the second, which is right there to 2046. And then we had an area of buying, right? We had the POC of the week, the value low of the week, that right there, which is also a little bit of a single print right here from the last period of January 2nd. That right there was enough to tell me where buyers bought from. Now, it's not to say that they won't continue to buy or they may just fail it. Um, I believe personally, now I'm not saying that I'm right all the time, but I believe that jobless report, even though it wasn't 100% good, I believe overall it was good. Just enough to give me a catalyst to buy up for a hot second. This was how long of a play was this? Entered at 9:41:09. I got 75% at 9:34. So 9:31 was the entry, 9:34 was 75%, and 9:37 I ended up flattening it at extra 5 cents. So about 5 cents. It was 3 cents away from my full goal. But because we got so close to a sign of resistance, first sign of resistance, it just makes sense to take profit, take all of it there. I got an extra 5 cents out of the deal. I moved my stop once I got to 75%. I moved there from 40 up to 42, which was a little bit past my entry point, just so I can pay for commissions um, and keep the half goal pretty much all to myself without having to give it back. and I ended up moving it to 48. Then eventually I took flattened the position at 55. Looks like it was a good idea to do so because now you're seeing what's happening, right? That sign of resistance. Now we didn't get there. We're blah, blah, blah. We're about almost 20, about 26 cents away from the first sign of resistance. So we didn't quite get there. But it just felt like that was the time to flatten it. If not anything, at least protect the profit that I made. So that was a great decision. All right, so let's go back. So now that we are completely out, I have no working orders. We made almost half goal. We made 15 cents total. So times $115 per contract. And then times that by how many contracts you purchase or invest in. Let's go back to what made me want to buy the market, and we'll see if this drop continues. So just looking at economics first. Economics, we had ADP. Again, it's not really a market mover, but it is something to pay attention to. Eco Day allows you to see which reports are market movers, which ones are something to pay attention to, and which just key indicators, right? So ADP consensus is marked as green, so it's something to pay attention to. Um, I put more stock into the ones that are actually market movers, but again, I don't overlook um, ADP or any other report that comes out. And I actually didn't even look at mortgage applications. ADP, let's click on that. So just like we noticed before cash open, ADP was not good, right? Prior was 146,000 of private payroll month over month. The consensus that we were going to drop to 134,000, and we actually dropped further than that to 122,000. So that's actually a bad report. Even though we are trending higher. That's a negative report. So ADP is negative. So you can look at it in different ways. With ADP being negative, that could be the catalyst. I find that I put more stock into the ones that are actually market movers, like jobless numbers, CDP, PPI, CPI, stuff like that, inventory, anything to do with interest rates. So if the Fed has a conference, that's definitely something to pay attention to. Stuff like that are very, very important. So the ones that are in red are the ones I put more stock into. Not to say that the ones that are not important. All right, jobless, I felt was better. The only negative we pointed out before cash open was that the 4 week moving average was below, was about 20, about 10,000 below. It looks like I'm starting to get some messages coming in. Some of my mentees are hitting me up. Um, so the 4 week low is the 4 week moving average is lower, about 10,000 less. But the jobless claims has dropped. So that is a good thing. So it's kind of a mix. You got two of the three. So that's why I believe it's flat from yesterday or from last report. I personally thought it was a good report. Doesn't mean I'm right, and it looks like I'm not. But looking at also and to see how that pans out. But looking at also that kind of gave me the confidence to buy, even for this short period of time, was looking at the receipts. All right. So if looking at where we open now, again, we open 220.90. This area of interest, for one, we have a weekly low of last week. So weekly value low. So this is the low of value for IWM. Again, IWM is the auction that I participate in. We're pushing that low. And we're also pushing down to we're a little further than that, but the monthly PLC as well is lower. All right. So last week's value low of IWM, 220.12. Now we're pushing below that 220.12, and I want to see us push higher because this should hold. That doesn't mean it will, but we have between 220.12 value low and then this right here, the value low of the second, that is 219.79. Now, I didn't mark that before cash open, but now I'm seeing that potentially because that is also near the extreme low of the second, which is 219.60. And we're right there. Let's mark that and let's see what happens. 229.60. And I just want to see from here to here, do because you can see there was a rush of new money that came in to support that area. That doesn't mean it's going to stay supported, but just looking at the receipts of what other participants have done, other participants bought it a few times. Now, another thing to look at too, let's change the format from split to regular to see if this is a weak low. This could potentially be a weak low because we have unfinished auctions and then we had a finished auction down here on the profile of the second. We may see maybe a rush through it, a quick rush through, but before potential buying. But this is definitely an area where other participants felt that IWM was worth buying at the time. So the logical thought would be the next time we get there, potentially there may be another opportunity to buy. And that's where my thought process was. Not necessarily in this area though. So I'm curious to see as we're watching in real time, are we going to see some absorbing of sellers? Here's 25,000 sellers. The volume kicked up crazy though. 735 in volume. And in this candle right now, we have 24,000 sellers. Volume, not so much, but I'm wondering, do we see an absorption of sellers here? Being in this area was the last place of where other market participants bought from. And right now, we're not seeing that absorption happening. We're starting to see an influx in selling. Uh, well, this is matching now. Okay, so it's a little bit higher. 25,000 to 20,000, but the volume is extremely high in this area. And if we're starting to see some tails come in, some high volume, then we're looking more like absorbing of sellers. You will want to see maybe this candle be more. Okay, there we go. As I was saying that there's more sellers now in this candle. The volume is really starting to increase. So this is telling me that we are absorbing sellers, at least for the moment. Now, will that continue? I don't have my counter down here. Normally I have a counter to tell me how long this candle before it closes. I'm not sure my counter is not there. But we're less than 2 minutes until this candle ends. I'm curious to see what this does. Right. I'm curious to see. We do have another report, I think, coming out at 10:30. Okay, so we're far from that. I'm curious because we are sellers, more sellers than this candle. Volume is not as much as this candle, but we're starting to see something. Only time will tell. We're about a minute until this candle ends. So I'm curious. I think we were, if I'm not mistaken, I think we were at the edge of volume. Yeah, so we're coming at the edge of volume of the second too. All right, edge of a ledge where volume wasn't even. Here's edge of a ledge here, roughly 219.63. And that's kind of what we're doing now to 260. What was it? 219. Let's see, 219.81 to 219.63. That's kind of what we're seeing now, edge of a ledge and volume. And so we're starting to see, there we go. So as I was talking, 47,000 it went down. But here's the volume is now increasing almost at the 700,000, 536,000 in volume. The volume is increasing. So there's a bigger player in this area here. Okay, the candle just ended. More than double I mean, more than half of the volume of the candle before. Something is happening. Negative volume, or negative delta, positive candle with a lot of volume. Are we seeing absorption? Let me look at the other chart. All right. So VIX is creeping. It's creeping higher. Now I already made my money today, so I won't be getting back into it. But this is interesting. Again, you're not looking for all day affairs, but you're looking for moments. It looks like sellers are being absorbed. Now, if we make a new low, then we kind of have to start from scratch. But we're not, the low currently is 219.65. If we're starting to see absorption, two things that happen. We won't make a new low. And second, or we'll make a new low, but we won't close at that low. All right. So 219.65 is the current low. One possibility is that we may make a new low, but won't close, will close above the low, or won't make a new low at all. And I'm seeing sellers come in less, a lot less sellers coming in, volume, and there's a lot of tails here. Tail here, a nice tail here with high volume. Look at this POC of this candle, the 945, and this candle 950. They're virtually the same, right? 219.96 to 219.87. We're seeing some action here. 54,000, 190,000. Still, PO still the same. So again, there's two things that we may see. Now, if we make a new low and we close at the low, then we pretty much got to start from scratch. But if we make a new low and close above that low, then the absorption is still in play. The idea is still there. So I'm curious to see. We're making a new low now with I wish I had my counter here. I don't know what happened. Um, and we still got a little over 2 minutes until this candle is done. So we still got some time. So we make a new low, which we did. Now, if we close below here, then the absorption idea is not there. And we still got some time. We got about 2 minutes, officially 2 minutes left of this candle. You know what? Since I'm not playing, there we go. Did it start? Bar countdown is on, but it's not, for whatever reason, it is not showing. It was off and I just turned it on, but it's still not showing. But anyway, I got the clock in my head. So we are down, made a new low and look like possibly closing the new low. So the idea of absorbing sellers is not in play. So we caught this area here, the single print off that news. I guess overall, unless also again we do have inventory coming out at 10:30. I know it's pretty early for that report to come out, but they obviously they get it before we do, so they know more than what we know. Definitely, I think that idea of absorption is not there. We still got time of this candle left. We got about 30, 40 seconds of this candle. Now, again, if we close below here, the idea of absorption, at least at the moment, is not in play. If we close above 219.65, then that idea will still be relevant. 219.65 is the number. We're 10, we're a lot below that now. So I don't think that's going to happen with 10 seconds left. Who knows? But let's see. Nope. 2 seconds left. That absorption didn't happen. But we did come in with more more volume. I mean, more sellers, and almost more than half in volume here. So something is happening. Buyers came in here, and at the moment before the candle ended, there was a POC of this candle at the same price point, 219.96 down to 219.87. So it's a possibility they're piecing their orders in as well, but I don't like the absorption at the moment. The absorption is not there. It looked like it was gonna be, but it's not there. Now at the moment, it's still too early to tell. But this candle right here, POC is the same, which is some telltale signs that there's something happening, but it's too early for that. No, I still don't know why my counter is not on. I don't like that. That way I don't have to guess the time. It's just there. There are more sellers coming in. Volume is there. They could be piecing it at different prices. Definitely potentially piecing. Now, if we were to make a positive run, then I would kind of like it. Uh, they're piecing in their orders, it look like it. That interest is still there. Maybe let's see. Not too quick to judge on that one. I still don't like it right now. I don't like it. Am I too quick on a judge? Maybe. Right now, it's still not showing me signs. Right now, it's telling me that the market took ADP over jobless numbers more importantly than the jobless, or took it more to heart than jobless. To me, jobless was more positive. Again, that full week moving average dropped, but the other two numbers in that report were positive. And I like the buy up, and just it showed me in this candle that I was right on that buy up for a hot second. I mean, again, I'm not here to play all day. I'm looking for moments, catch those moments. I prefer to make 20 cent, at least 20 cent, but I always protect that half of that 20 cent, which is 10. Make that money, stay consistent, protect that by moving my stop. And right now, I don't think we're absorbing. I think the market just don't like it. It showed signs of potential absorbing the sellers. Okay. So reading a little bit of, I'll get back to you, bro. Um, of what my mentee said. Yeah, I still like the buy, guys. I mean, it's not showing me that I'm right, other than when we caught here, but I still like it. Right? I mean, we're still in A period with about what 5 seconds until we get to B period, 10 o'clock. I wonder what B period does, because A period we dropped. This is the first 30 minutes of the market. Oh, we're not. Well, okay. So we are getting close to B period. About 40 seconds away. That the let's see. The sellers are increasing, but they're still in control. I'm not seeing a flip. I'm not seeing now I'm seeing they're starting to piecemeal their orders here. Here, here, and here. Iceberg, right? Here's the surface. Here's the under the water. All right. More volume, more sellers. Volume has decreased in the selling. So we had an influx in selling, volume increased, a decrease. Now we are currently in B period. Right now, this is the extreme low of the second. Here's another piece. Current's too early to tell, but piece in there. So maybe this is the top of the iceberg, right? The 256,000 here. Here's another top of that you can see, and then this is the under the water part, right? That you can't see. That's the iceberg potentially. Now it's starting to look like it. Emotions is starting to fall. It did decrease up to 19.27. So it's starting to decrease down as far as VIX 1894, which is a good sign. That means that the bigger players are starting to um, see the same thing. There's no infighting. Before I hang up in this video, I want to see us push at least back into this area that I had up here. To be able to see this in real time is incredible. This is priceless information. Again, I said in my previous video on how to get started, um, market profile is something you can pretty much get for free for any platform that I've seen. Order flow is the paid service, right? With Go Charting is $20 per month. If you compare that with other platforms, you're going to see that's a significant savings. I've seen, and I'm not going to mention any other platforms, but I've seen order flow being charged for up to 200 plus dollars. Now, if you want to pay that a month, go ahead. I'm not here to um, count your pockets, but I would rather pay 20 for the same information real time than 200. All right, so we are seeing, okay, here's the top of the iceberg. Here's the top. We're looking like the bottom here of that iceberg. And then we had a nice little push. If this is truly an iceberg, we'll see that push a little higher. VIX has dropped tremendously. So that's telling me there's no infighting between the bigger players. Everyone is, for the most part, is in unison. Yeah, we are looking good. So yeah, I reading the report was correctly. I felt that it was positive. I think because ADP was negative, you may see some sellers come in the market, and I should have pointed that out. Being that you had two important reports that were conflicting with each other, one positive, one extremely negative. One, well, I'll say jobless was for the most part positive. We did have weekly moving averages lower than expected, so you can say that was partially positive. ADP was just negative completely. So you had two conflicting reports, and we see, so that was the iceberg, right? We they just piecemealed it, so we can see some absorbing happening here, and there's the bigger move here, right? Because as market participants, we know that the bigger players cannot put all their orders in at once; they have to piece it in, and this is that example of piecing it in. So we seeing that in real time, right? Piece really here is the top, right? Here's some more of that. Top of that iceberg, right at the bottom underwater where you can't see it, but we know we can see it because of order flow. So absorbing correctly, not we saw the first opportunity there. This is the second opportunity with the absorption and iceberg orders, and we're pushing higher in this 5 minute candle. Again, we do have a inventory report that comes out at 10:30. So I would be aware of that. That is a market mover. So the bigger players know before we do. So just be careful with that. So 219, so 220 calls would have been there. I only had that in my watch list. That would have been a nice little play up right there. Right, right there. That could be dumping. That could be taking profits. A lot of times, taking profits can turn into a reversal, so be careful with that. But we saw in real time, right? 25,000 sellers, 735 in volume. Something is happening, right? Then there's 28,000 sellers, 546 in volume. Something is happening, right? So we're kind of seeing that iceberg, top of the iceberg, where everybody can see orders, orders, orders. And then here's that. All right, let's drop it down. Okay. And that was a nice 5 minutes of profit. Open, looks like the very low of 219.35, the very high of 220.60. So that was pretty good, pretty good. That right there was more than $1 worth of profit in this 5 minute candle. All right, guys. That's the end for me. I wanted to see if we have a little push. I'll start to see some absorption within, I think it was this candle, 940 candle, but it looks like that was just the tip of the iceberg. And then we finally bought up in here, right? Now, what's happening in this one? Again, we do have a report at 9:30. So depending on what that report does, and that is a market mover, that would determine potentially if we continue to buy up or we start to fade back to the lows. All right, well, that's the end, guys. I hope, as always, you find value in my videos. And if you have any comments, don't hesitate to leave a comment. I reply back. Let me know what you think, guys. If doing these live recordings help you guys understand market moving and how to trade a little more, and understanding that this is a mock auction place. Depending on what auction you choose to play. Again, I play IWM. That's the auction that I participate in. But it doesn't matter if you are a futures trader, if you are a crypto trader, a forex trader or equities trader. It does not matter. Anything that trades creates a profile, and anything that trades that you can trade creates order flow footprint chart. Again, this is a paid service that you can get from a lot of platforms. A lot of platforms charge a lot of money, but this is a web-based, very great, very, very great platform to use. As long as you have an internet service and a computer, you can pull this up, log in and pull it up. All right. Have a great one, guys. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully next time we'll make full goal. It's not too bad. I made 15 cent off of my half a move and then got five more to almost get the full on today. So not bad. Not bad at all. Actually pretty good day. 5,500 no, I'm sorry. 5,200 today in profit. Could have got that 20 cent would have made a little more. But again, I always take 75% off at the 10 cent mark. And then I move my stop to protect that half. And if I get the 20 cent, great. If I don't, I at least still made some money today. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great, great rest of your day. If I am, there we go. If I'm able to log off. All right. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, January 9th.